Welcome everyone to the March 23rd, 2023 Board of Trustees meeting. Jody started the recording, so first order of business tonight will be for me to call roll. Drew
Here.
Carolyn, everyone
Here.
Susan Nancy
Here.
Work.
Here.
Monty Hardaway is here, so we're all here today. Thank you. The two publics. Is there anyone here who would like to make a public comment, either live in the room or online by Zoom? Seeing or hearing none, I will make a motion that we close the public comment period. I need a second.
Second.
Susan seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public comment period is now closed. Our next order of business is to approve March 6th and 16th minutes. So can we do these together tonight, Jody? Is everyone here? I read through the minutes, but I never looked at the minutes.
Everyone who was here for the 6th, and I think we're all here for the 16th too.
Okay, so we can move both the March 6th and March 16th minutes together, and I will make a motion that we draft minutes. And I need a second. Got a work seconds. Is there any discussion about the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving both the March 6th and 16th minutes, say aye. Aye. So those are passed. Okay, the next order of business is to set our public hearing for proposed local law C, which 2023, which is for the tax override for April 3rd, 2023 at 7:35 p.m. The tax override basically is something we put in place so that in an emergency, should we need to, we can vote as trustees to propose to exceed the real property tax levy in the state of New York. We've done this for, I guess, 9 or 10 years now. We've never had to use it, but it's there just in case we do. It's just a matter of formality. We never have to do it. We have the ability, should we get some kind of a budget issue this year that required us to do this, we could go ahead and pass that. So did everyone have a chance to look at this? It's pretty short. Understanding. Any questions? So that public hearing would be our first meeting in April, on April 3rd at 7, and the public hearing would start at 7:35 p.m. I will move that we set that public hearing. I need a second.
A second.
Susan seconds. Any discussion about the time?
Yeah. I might just declare defeat, yeah.
We need to.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the next topic is budget discussion. We've gone through some preliminary discussions on the budget. We think we've got one to present at the public hearing. Are there any additional questions or concerns about the budget to raise tonight? Hearing none and seeing none, I guess we will move on then. So we'll consider this to be our proposed budget, and we will set a 2023-24 budget public hearing for April 3rd, 2023 at 7:40 p.m., which is basically after the first public hearing for the tax override. So I will move that we set the public hearing at 7:40 p.m. at our next meeting. Have a second?
Second. You're just being nice. We need a buzzer.
Good job. Now, is there any discussion about the public hearing? Time's okay? So good. So we will have a public hearing next on April 3rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, mayor's comments tonight, I don't have any. We will have an executive session dealing with personnel issues. But the one thing I do want to do, and I'll do this in our meetings up until our election, is to remind people to vote on April 25th, to be here at the village offices. Have we heard whether Jody, have we heard whether the polling place will be in this room or will it be in the community room?
It'll be up in the community room. We switched it totally
Okay,
because of this system, taking it apart and setting it.
that's right, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It will be in the community room, which is the old village offices, just east of this office. There should be signs, and you'll see a string of people going in and out, so just follow the people. So be sure and vote. So far, that's my only comment for tonight. General discussion. Susan, do you have anything for tonight?
No, except I won't be able to go to the, please, say it for me, Carolyn. The Cuba Lake.
Leo?
Yeah, I have a conflict on Wednesday night, so I won't be able to.
Did you go to the VA thing?
Oh, yes.
Did you report on that?
Did we talk about that, Ed? Oh, no, we didn't.
No.
Because that was, yeah.
It was the next
No, that was the
that was
alcohol.
Friday. It was
I would have
the
liked to
night
have gone. What was that? Tell me about it.
How best, it was,
Pretty fast.
It was
Fast.
fast. Senator Gillibrand came in. She was supposed to come speak. She had a particular topic she wanted to speak. It wasn't just for the opening of the VA.
What was that topic?
I'm sorry.
What was that topic?
The PACT Act that was recently passed by Congress, which it extends veterans' treatment for burn pit or burn pit-like exposure to dangerous chemicals. She was saying that the exposure and the symptoms related to burn pits is very similar to what the first responders at September 11th experienced. And the symptoms aren't immediate, but they progress gradually and get worse and worse and worse. She was not a co-sponsor of this act, of this particular act, but a lot of her wording for other bills that she had proposed was in there. So basically, she got the same effect and impact through working on the PACT Act. But she was not a co-sponsor in this case. So she spoke about that, and she addressed the VA center there.
Did you walk through the whole facility?
PACT,
no, we weren't able
P-A-C-T,
to because
all caps, Act.
they
There's a
receive
long-
patients, they
It's
have.
dedicated to
that.
a service member who
Yes,
died from this.
So we entered the lobby, we checked for COVID, and then ushered into the little conference room. And
Oh, that's it. So you didn't really tour.
No.
No, they had patients in, so we couldn't really tour.
I see.
They started business, so they're serving people now.
Okay.
It's a nice facility. I was hoping we would have it in the lobby, but I guess it's hard to do that when you have patients coming in. So they were segregating us off that way. The conference room, their conference room is smaller than our community room. There were probably 20 people there altogether.
And many of them were people from Rochester. I lost track of the suits and the names and the masks and,
Yeah, massive.
you know,
She has a regional,
tension around waiting.
she has regional staff at various regions within the state, and this is the staff for Rochester Finger Lakes region in there. So some of her interns and so forth.
I'm surprised that she came for such for that opening.
She basically was touring a lot of the VA centers in the state, and this just coincided with roughly the same
I see.
times that the VA center opened.
Okay.
So we were fortunate. It was a nice turnout.
But there were
So-
three of us from the village, and Deborah and
Shauna
Shauna Black,
Black.
the chair of the Tompkins County Legislature.
Right.
And,
Anna Kellis.
yes, that's who
Anna
that was.
Kellis was there.
And others.
So it was a good turnout.
You guys were hobnobbing.
What'd you say?
You were hobnobbing.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Fantastic.
And we have lunch later. Yes.
So that was probably just the cool kids, am I right?
Oh, it was just.
It's exactly right. Exactly right. So.
Thank you.
It was nice. It was nice, and the facility is very nice. So I would recommend if you get a chance to drop by. I doubt that they will be able to give you a tour just because of
No,
having
it
patients.
felt like entering, a doctor's office.
Yes.
Oh, and Linda Hoffman,
Linda
chair of the Tompkins County Democratic Committee.
She had been invited also. So it was a good turn. It was a decent turnout. I don't think we could have really squeezed many more people in the room because the press had a camera set up, and there were three of those, I think, turned in. So
And the press must have been there too.
yeah,
Somebody I couldn't see because it was.
Yeah, they were behind us. So yeah, they were
Anyway,
there. So it was nice.
that was good. Great.
Okay, do you have anything for tonight?
No.
Okay. Carol?
Don't have any.
Nothing? Drew?
Just to kind of make a formal note for the future at some point, just to touch base on, we discussed municipal trash pickup or arranging for that just because it's gotten so expensive. My individual one, I noticed this, and so prices go up so much, just to explore that. I think there have been some discussions previously, but we have to touch on that at some point.
John, do you think we could discuss that at our next staff trustees meeting? A potential, any problems with us, the village pursuing a potential contract with a local hauler to pick up our trash from the village? I know we've had a similar discussion some years in the past about it, but we decided not to.
About the village contracting with a local haul trash hauler?
Ideally, it should be cheaper than, together, it should be some negotiating
Like a
power.
CAA with the
Yeah.
trash.
Right.
Just so you know, my dream when I first came on the board was for us to
Right.
have
Right.
that garbage pickup, like
Yeah.
you could just put whatever you want on the curb and it goes away like Eva
Right.
Heights has.
Right.
That's what that's the dream.
But
I'm
yeah.
not sure how
the cost
that
is
would
gonna
work
be so
with
much.
the maintenance part of things. Natalie would probably have to dig into that a little bit
I
about
agree.
prevailing wage.
Yes.
That would be the biggest downside of that. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be under the maintenance side, so they can just pay their normal wages.
Right.
Like maintenance around the building itself. Once you break outside of the sidewalk, it becomes a lesser wage, a maintenance wage. Once you go in there, it becomes like heavy highway prevailing wages. That goes up, which ultimately drives our costs up.
Even if this is for you contracting it out.
Yeah, because we have to make sure our contractors pay prevailing wage. When you get into big contracts, you have to open up a PRC case to the Department of Labor.
Okay.
Like we have one open for all our water line projects and stuff like that. And then they come down and they mandate, it has to be certified payroll. So that all drives the cost of things up.
Right. I mean, it's gone aside from $30-some I was paying like a year and a half ago a month to like $90 a month.
What?
A 90 a month,
Doug's.
yeah. I mean, is there a?
It's not coming down, I don't care what
Is there a
diesel
fuel surcharge tacked onto that? Is that
Well,
what
it's
they're
one of those
saying?
things, they say it goes up because of diesel, but when diesel prices go down, they're not gonna lower it.
Yeah.
That's how it works, yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be, like most of our contracts off from the state and county local contracts, there's a de-escalator in there and an escalator in there for
Yeah.
price of fuel adjustment. Like, right now, the fuel's down, our salt prices went down about 50 cents a ton. Not a lot, but
Yeah,
at least you're seeing some fluctuation on that.
right. It would seem like.
I don't think we have a whole lot of people to call from
Right.
as far as trash pickups.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna get, unless you get,
Are there any municipalities around here who,
Cuba Heights picks their own trash up, and
okay,
then Town of Lansing, mostly, they get a little Doug's
Yeah.
trash removal, but mostly Casella.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty much, I wouldn't say it's a monopoly around here,
yeah,
but it's almost to that point. I mean, when another guy come in town, what's his name, AWS come in town, they established good business.
Oh, then they like.
Casella saw that they were pulling from them, they went and bought Casella, or they went and bought AWS out. They threw a gobs of money at the guy.
That's what Simon was using.
I'm sorry?
And Simon raised the same issue, and Simon is using.
That's right.
Yeah, so you're gonna see a lot of,
So it's just two competitors, what you're telling me?
pretty much is it, really. I mean, yeah, there is
Right.
some, is it something maintenance out of Syracuse? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just not too many to choose. Now, you get over Portland way, my way, there's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
Independence.
Yeah, you're seeing, you can get real competitive. I know the Village of Marathon, they contract it out and they bid it out every couple of years. They do like a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
And they bid it out. You know, I don't other than what you guys are paying, I'm not sure you would save a ton in taxes other than equal distribution, you know, throughout.
Yeah.
Everybody pays a little bit towards the pie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like, I mean, obviously the assumption that paying like $1,200 a year.
A year.
I mean,
Yeah.
is, it would seem like they could get, if you
Yeah.
bulk purchase,
And
you could get a better.
Is that unlimited or is that per tape you put around the bag?
No, they also have to
That's
buy
an
the,
additional
buy the
cost.
tags.
Tags.
Yeah.
Why
So
don't
I'm
you
paying like,
sell it?
I don't know, I could investigate it.
Well, almost $1 a tag.
I've seen,
30 a
Like
month?
23 it
Still?
was, but now it's 30.
Yeah.
Mine was 70 a month.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of nuts. It doesn't, so yeah, I could call around.
I mean, I think Cuba
When we
Heights,
probably priced it first, they were cheaper than Casella.
sure.
I think it's
Cuba Heights has their own trash pickup, but they also have 4 or 5 guys that do it. You know, they do it twice a week over at Cuba Heights.
So they have their own.
They have their own trash, and they haul it to, so they still have to pay tipping fees.
Right.
By the time you get into all that tipping fees, I mean, you're paying tipping fees for that truck, if that truck hauls, you know, and they restricted it, you can't haul the trash out of the county, so you can't haul it to other cheaper landfills. It's, from my understanding, it's only for the county, they can only haul it to the transfer station. That's the way I was understanding it. And what happens when that is, the tipping fees go up in the 3 digits, you know, $100 a ton, whatever it is. If the truck carries 15 ton, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm sure they're making money, obviously.
Right. I mean, it seems like municipal service at many of the places I live, it seems like something that.
I think we should talk to the town of Marathon.
Yeah, and even Cayuga Heights or even other, you mentioned town Lansing does something.
No, it's private.
Oh, it's private, okay, yeah. Right. So really, in Tompkins County, really, no, Cayuga Heights is the only one.
Not much competition here in Cuba, or Tompkins County, so Cuba Heights is the only municipal owned. TST Bosse's, I think, has their own transfer truck.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're, I think, a government entity as well, or a not-for-profit or something, I'm not sure what the hell they're classified.
I mean, it's worth investigating.
Yeah.
It won't hurt to gather some numbers and see. We always have the option of taking bids and then rejecting all.
Right.
It's just too expensive. If we want to do that, it's definitely worthwhile, as it was when Carolyn wanted that.
Yeah.
We never did anything with it, we didn't really look into it. I wish.
The problem we may run into with that is a lot of this stuff is changing, where 1 minute you have sort, and then you have zero sort,
Right.
and then most of the stuff ends up going in the trash anyway. So if the requirements change for the locality, like Tompkins County, you may run into some difficulties starting to enforce the zero sort. So under contract, in midstream, if they say you have to sort your recyclables, then everything has to be sorted. That drives up the cost, because now they have to have a multi-compartment trash truck.
Right.
And then they haul that to the recycling center and they dump in the correct bins. That, if you had something like that and then mid-stride, those laws come into effect, governed by the county or the state,
Right.
it might make it difficult to have a lengthy contract. It might make it expensive, because they're throwing a monkey wrench in the works mid-stride.
Well, the recycling trash is on a county contract, so we already have that.
Yeah,
So,
right.
but for waste disposal, that's what we would look at.
How about the county do it all as one?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I don't know the coordination of that, but it could be, yeah, that sounds like.
I mean, they do the recycling, they pay for the recycling.
Right.
It's a contract with Casella.
We pay
They're
for
almost
it.
there. Pay through your county taxes.
Right. I don't think that's been raised at the county level, I can ask Deborah about, she would be aware, if she doesn't know, she would know who to ask. It might even be the recycling center that is the contact for that, but we can find out if they ever considered it. My concern is that when it gets that large, it definitely becomes a monopoly. So,
Yeah, you're exactly what, it's gonna drive it that way, exactly right. I'm almost surprised they don't want to recycle for county.
so to answer the truth,
Yeah.
it's good, we can do some research and that's fine.
Yeah, it's great for that.
It's worth pursuing. If Carolyn, if you said you just want to be able to put things out and it disappears,
Oh, just once a year.
go to Dallas.
I think you told me about that. That was your answer to me last
That's where we moved from Dallas to here. We had never sorted trash or recycling.
Just go across Key Guys Road.
It's moving day for the students.
My mom has in Ashland, where she lives in Ohio, there's 2 days out of the year, in the spring and the fall, where you can put anything
Yes,
out.
Yeah.
that's my.
People go around with their pickup trucks digging through
Yeah.
people's stuff.
Well,
that
people
they
do that here
couldn't
too.
Bulky day.
Yeah.
They do it over at Cuba Heights 2 times a year, it's called Bulky Day over
Yeah.
there. They throw it out next to the curb and they're trash people. You'd be surprised what gets put out there. They do it in Cortland County, it's called Amnesty Day. And for one weekend, they bring all kinds of stuff in and the landfill opens it up for municipalities to haul it directly to the landfills, which, like a transfer station here.
Yeah,
And each municipality, they open it up, they bring it in, the town loads it up into a dump truck and they haul it to the landfill.
Maybe that's what we could get happening on a county level.
Right.
Get them to
It's
do
a
the
bulk.
amnesty day, and then we personally bring our,
yeah, but the regular one is what's interesting too, because it's costly, yeah.
Each municipality then.
But the ones you're mentioning so far, they run their own, like Cayuga Heights, they have their own,
Who's that?
the Cayuga Heights, they have their own contract that they do their own.
They have their own truck, they have
That's true
their
at
own truck.
Portland and
Village of Marathon contracts it out.
Marathon contract.
Town of Virgil has
Portland,
their own transfer station. Cortland is by the bag, you buy its tag at the grocery store.
but it's municipal.
I don't think so, it's done through like,
Just the amnesty day.
yeah, just the amnesty day is done through the Cortland County. I thought that was kind of a state thing, they were all just kind of subsidizing that tipping fees for that one day that the municipality brought it
I
in.
haven't heard of it.
Yeah, amnesty day is what they call it. Kind of free for all.
I really knew anybody on this one.
Who could we contact? It's a conundrum. Okay. I will contact Deborah to see if she knows anyone we can contact. I'll pass it along to both of you.
That'd be great.
Amnesty
I'll
Day.
copy everybody. Amnesty Day.
Carolyn, start collecting. Do you have a 2-car garage?
All right, so that's everything for tonight. I guess we will, we need to vote to move into executive session.
Also, remember, I need your newsletter articles tomorrow. I've got a couple people, thank you.
Mine are ready, I'll send them in the morning. I'm gonna read through them one more time
Okay.
tomorrow. Try to find all the mistakes.
Yes, I got it.
So we'll have them tomorrow.
Awesome.
So we need to vote to move into executive session for personnel issues. So I will move that, will be the second.
I'll second. My turn.
Susan seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Joe, I guess turn off the recording.